Good evening and welcome to the 2019 Sunshine State Conference Men's Basketball Tournament post-game press conference. Following today's semifinal number 1, we are joined by Nova Southeastern University, who defeated Berry University 88-77 here at Rick Case Arena. They advanced the SSC championship game and will face the winner of Lynn University and Florida Southern College tomorrow at 4:05 here at Nova Southeastern University. We are joined by Sharks head coach Jim Crutchfield and student athletes Dwayne Gibson and Connor Zinich. Coach, opening statement about the game.
I thought defensive pressure was pretty good, enough to force turnovers, trying to keep some guys from getting untracked. They got guys like Dan Mortensen and Moya that's, if they get a feel for the game, they can make shots. Didn't anticipate Hobbs coming out and attacking the rim. He's only made, I think, 6 threes all year. I think 2 of those were against us earlier, so he now has 8, and 4 of them are against us. Maybe we should guard a little closer, but he came out and scored, 12 of the first 15 points. I thought these guys adjusted well, keeping from getting to the rim, closed out on a little bit better. I thought they shared the ball well. I don't know what our shooting percentage was the first half, but I felt like we were getting good looks. Guys made shots. Guys come off the bench and contributed immediately. Obviously glad to get Connor back on the court. I thought he looked good. Guys hustled. Guys made hustle plays. Obviously Dwayne does it all year long. You saw David Dennis with a 20-point lead diving on the floor after ball like it was a tie game with a second to go. So that's the mentality we have to have if we want to win basketball games here at NSU.
James, open.
Coach, 3rd time playing Berry this year, 3rd win. Talk about how tough it is to beat a team, especially in this league, 3 times in the same season.
I've heard that 3 times is hard to beat team. It's hard to beat Berry 1 time. If there's anything to that expression, is they know you so well. They know you so well, and they're a good team. And maybe they're a little bit mad about losing to you twice, and that adds a little inspiration. But, I just feel like our guys are getting to that point that they know how to win. They know how to focus for a game. And whether we've beaten Berry twice or they've beaten us twice, that was ancient history. And you come out to a game like this, you play as hard as you can, as smart as you can, and hopefully you're a better team than the first 2 times you played them. I'm sure Berry's thinking the same thing. This is the time of year you should be a better basketball team. Play harder, play smarter, playing together a little bit longer.
Looking at it from a different perspective, talk about maybe the recruiting aspect of it, being a crosstown rival, beating them 3 times in a year like that, moving forward with the program's growth.
You'd like to think success in the program aids in recruiting, and I think it does. And I think it has helped us. But guys like Dwayne and Connor playing good basketball, quality basketball, aids in recruiting. Berry is a good program, has been historically a good program. I don't know for sure if it aids in recruiting, but I know it sure can hurt.
Connor, switching over to you, 27 points, 2nd game back. Do you feel all the way back?
Yeah, I do. I feel like my teammates were finding me and putting me in easy spots to shoot the ball and do what I do. And I feel like all of my points really, I forced a couple times. Obviously, I had more turnovers than what I'd like, but obviously Dave, Dwayne, Mark, all of them just kept finding me. And once I got hot, I just felt like I was in a rhythm and could keep scoring.
Then Dwayne, 1 of 7 shooting, a little tough night for you there, but 6 steals, 5 assists. Talk about keeping that mindset of still being able to contribute other ways.
Yeah, I really take pride in just being the guy that keeps everybody together, regardless of if I needed to get 20 points or 0 points, it all just goes back to what Coach has said, just making the hustle plays, doing everything that's needed to win. Of course, people like to see points. They like to see those type of things, but it doesn't matter if you don't win the game. So you need, sometimes you need a guy out there that's just willing to do everything that's necessary to win, and I like having that role.
So, Coach, talk, if you would, please, about the beginning of the game. You might have addressed this earlier. They were trying to play at NSU's pace, Barry was.
We have certain ways we treat every way of attacking our pressure. It's not like, wow, we're getting the ball in early, you get up the court early, up the sideline, what are we going to do about that? These things have all been looked at, and we made a few adjustments. I think, within the first 6 or 7 minutes of the game, we realized we can't let Hobbs get isolated one-on-one out of the press. But if you've got a guy like Moya who's catching the ball and getting the ball up the court quickly, there's usually someone behind him. And we can utilize the guy guarding the inbounder to double up on him, close down those lanes, pass the ball to Burtz or Hobbs. Made some adjustments. We're happy to play at that pace. But when we play at that pace, we have to make minor adjustments along the way to deal with the good things they were doing. I thought they'd come out, played hard. They got a couple easy buckets. They got the ball to the rim. We don't want to see that. So what we don't say is, well, geez, we got to slow the pace down. We can't do this. We're going to keep the pace as is, but we've got to make some adjustments to stop what they're doing.
If you look at what you accomplished the last couple of games, you beat Tampa for a third time this season. Tonight you beat a Barry team for a third time this season. How difficult is it to defeat another college team 3 times the same year?
Incredibly difficult. We just talked about it earlier. I'm just kidding a little.
Okay.
But I know that the old adage is hard to beat a good team 3 times,
Okay.
and Barry is a good team. But I always feel like it's hard to beat a good team 1 time. You know, the law of averages. You figure they'll catch up to them sooner or later. They're going to beat you. But I don't know that third time is the time it happened. It didn't happen with Tampa. It didn't happen with Barry. But these are teams. Barry's a team that we might see them again. So the new adage is hard to beat a good team 4 times maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, Coach, if I may.
I just want to do one last one for the student athletes.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anybody have one for the student athletes?
Yeah, Dwayne, if I can,
Please.
I'll start with Dwayne. Playing your senior year here, how does this feel at this point?
It's the best feeling, especially seeing so many different guys come in and immediately have an impact. The same thing happened last year. Half the team was new from my sophomore year going into my junior year, and just showing that it doesn't matter who you bring as long as you believe in what coach is preaching. You stay nose to the grind. You do it works. It works. So it's just fun to see in my last year that we can really have a great season.
As someone who's been here a while, do you feel added pressure knowing how far we've come?
Not added pressure, just I think it's just more of a responsibility to make sure that everybody's doing the right things. I've seen as bad as it can get, in a not a negative sense. 6 wins, my sophomore year. Just I know what it's like when it starts to go down. And staying on that high road. Just want to make sure everybody keeps focused. So not pressure, just more responsibility to be a leader.
Thank you, Nova Southeastern, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys can hustle up.